It has been far too long without playing Genshin, honestly, and I hate it every single moment of it. It sucks balls, but definitely I hate it. Genshin has a wide variety of characters. It has a wide variety of characters that has a lot of good material on each of them, and they're all wonderful. And when it comes to their obvious in-game selves, they're really cool characters nonetheless. But you know what? When it comes down to things, how come when it comes down to things, why is it always the dark-skinned characters in Genshin that don't get enough treatment, honestly? Why isn't Xinyan and Dehya getting all the treatment in the world? Do you not see how unique Dehya looks? Do you not see how unique Xinyan looks? I don't understand this nonsense. Like, of all things, like, if you're gonna absolutely go ham on some art, why can't we go ham on Dehya or Xinyan? Maybe it's because the whole Chinese thing, but still don't necessarily know, honestly, because, you know, you did do that one thing with that Star Wars poster, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But 100%, there shouldn't be no excuse for any of that. There should be more Dehya and Xinyan content. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. Now, granted, I understand if it's coming from maybe, oh, that the character is ass, honestly, like because they're in-game sells. I can imagine that, because Xinyan is virtually useless, honestly. Not saying that she's a bad character, but in-game wise, to use her, she doesn't really have anything that's making you want to use her. Like, Noelle is actually more useful than Xinyan is, honestly. Unless you just need a Pyro Claymore character that you just need for like a quick minute. But then you have Diluc, so, you know, Xinyan is kind of like the Amber of Claymore and Pyro, unfortunately. But still, when it comes down to things though, if that is the case, that's understandable. But there's no reason why Dehya, someone that is new, someone that we haven't even get to play as yet, there's no reason for her to be lacking in art. Like, there's some few pictures of her, which is great, but everything else, not necessarily a lot of, and it makes absolutely no sense. And again, there is a wide variety of characters, and maybe those characters ain't liked as much as everybody else. Maybe that's the case, but still, out of spite, someone makes some dang content for these girls. Like, it makes no type of sense. It does not. Now, when it comes down to things personally, what I like about Genshin characters is definitely their own unique flavor of different things that they do. And each character, as you kind of see and play through the game, they're very unique into what they are. But my favorite character out of everybody in the game is Lamine. The reason why for this is mainly because she is not attached to any strings. She's literally the anomaly of Savat. She literally just does what she needs to fulfill her own goal. And yes, while she does have some type of path that she has to follow, majority of the time her path and the way she gets there is kind of open-ended, right? And she doesn't like have like any obligations in that world, honestly. Like, she kind of just does what she wants to, which is the reason why I kind of like Lamine over a lot of other characters. And she's gonna wield all the elements too, and when it comes down to things, like, she's just open-ended, really. That's the main reason why I like Lamine over everybody else. And yes, you got plenty of cooler design characters, and you have plenty cooler, well thought out, more better characters than possibly Lamine, but at the same time, she's an open-ended character, something that a lot of these other characters isn't. Xinyan wants to rock and roll. That's pretty much her whole purpose. Ganyu needs to work for the Qixing, hopefully I said that right, and pretty much that's gonna be her whole purpose, honestly. And yeah, you have people like that's basically on a one-track mind, and that's gonna be it for their characters. And while they might like look great and they have great personalities, they're not open-ended like Lamine, and that's personally why I like her over everybody. Even though a lot of other people's designs are way cooler, but still I like her more than anybody else though. Where am I getting with this? I don't know. Basically, when it comes down to things, I just like my open-ended characters. It's why Sora is such a good protagonist. Yes, we get to see Sora kind of fights for the light and whatever, but at least he has so many other options and things he can do with his character to make him interesting. And that's kind of the same with Lamine. There's not really much you can do with all the other characters. That doesn't make them bad characters or anything like that, but still, it just goes to show that there is more that you can do with Lamine than you could with Xinyan, even though Xinyan needs to get her butthole pretty much, you know, plugged up with a giant penis, but still, nonetheless, there's only so much that you can do with Xinyan in game, which is why we turn to fan art half the time. Fan art is honestly wonderful. You can imagine anything, especially Kokatsu, because Kokatsu lets you do anything and you could just make up any type of story that you want to, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful time, honestly. Like, if you have not played Kokatsu or you don't have it yourself, highly recommend that you do. It's a wonderful game with wonderful experiences with those mods that are in the game. And definitely, when it comes down to things, you can just do anything you want, and that's why fan art is honestly so great and it's so glorious. And that's why I'm so adamant about seeing Dehya and Xinyan get some content. Like, everybody gets content. Nilo gets content, which personally, I didn't think Nilo was going to be that popular. I didn't think Nilo was going to be really much of anything. I thought Nilo was going to be basically the Barbara of Sumeru, but somehow Nilo gets a lot of content, shockingly. I was not expecting that, honestly. So which Nilo is kind of cute, so that's really good. But still, why can't Dehya get the same respect? Like, we see more of Dehya in the Archon quest than we did with Nilo. We got to see more of her uniqueness than we got to see more of Nilo. I'm just gonna be honest. Why don't we get to see more Dehya content? I don't know. And then Xinyan literally had one of the more wholesome arcs in the whole Golden Apple Archipelago in the last update. So why don't we get to see anything of that? I don't know. Again, it's very confusing. What about Sucrose? Because Sucrose has kind of started slowing down and I don't really see a lot of Sucrose content. Personally, all I'm saying is I just want Xinyan content. I just want Dehya content. All the underrated characters that no one really uses, I want to see them get some more content going. That's all I really want. I've seen a lot of Yelan. I like Yelan. She's really good in the game. Don't need to see Yelan no more. I just want to see the underdog characters and the underrated characters and the characters that don't get enough content as is. Like, barely people will touch Xinyan content. Barely people even makes Dehya content, which is still insane considering she's new. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. Also follow me on Twitter if you'd like to donate to the channel. Patreon is available as well. Also watch the PS5 video in case you want to help out with getting a PS5. Help me get that, that would be great. Because I desperately need it. I'm getting tired of not being able to play Genshin, honestly. So yeah, that's pretty much what that goal of that video is. Look it up for more information if you haven't seen it already. And yeah, until then, it's your boy Jay, sign off. How was that?